There comes a time when it's time for you to realize what is best for you might not be what feels comfortable or what feels good. And what I'm talking about in this case is when it's time to actually block your ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, whatever, on social media. Now, this is an extreme step. Not everyone needs to go this far, depending on how you're handling the breakup. But let's just be honest. Every single time you go and you take a peek at their profile picture or you see them show up as a suggested friend on Instagram because you share mutual friends, it's re-triggering. And even if you think, okay, you can handle it, check in with yourself and ask yourself how your healing's going. Because if you still feel sad and you still feel triggered and you still feel melancholy at least once a day, then you are still being impacted by the breakup. And some of the hardest things you can do are the things that you need to do that are best for yourself. And one of those things is to cut off your access. Because if you have a problem snooping, or if you have a problem, out of curiosity, checking to see what their new story is, because you can't let that whole circle thing go around their profile picture without you clicking on it, then you are still being impacted by your addiction to the chemicals involved in this breakup. So what do I mean by chemicals involved? Brain chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. These are feel good chemicals, things like that. But when you get attached to somebody, you are looking for the positive feelings that you had with them to return. And instead, you have the grief, the sadness, the despair, the yearning, and all of that. And so you need to be able to cut the cord of emotion between you and your ex. And it can be hard. It can be excruciating to actually click the button that says block. But after about a couple hours, hopefully at least a few days, that will be when the peace sets in, the peace of, oh, I want to go look, but I can't. You kind of just get rid of those urges. They kind of go away bit by bit, just like any other addiction. You can slowly wean off to the point where eventually you just don't even think about checking their socials anymore because why would you when you can't, right? So I do have to show some empathy on this topic because man, is it hard. Is it hard to look at someone you loved who has turned into a stranger or even a villain in your life story, and you need to do your best to block and protect your own energy from the pain. So I'm here to tell you that, yeah, you might not be ready right now when you're listening to this to block them, but I hope that this at least plants a seed for your own sake that if you keep waking up crying still about your ex and you're not already blocking them, then you might as well listen to the advice I've given you because your healing journey is not kicking ass, right? So what do you got to lose other than, hey, if it's not working out, try blocking them, go a week. Do you still cry as much? Do you still get triggered as much? And check in with yourself. So that's my advice. I've had to do this when I didn't want to do it, and it'll be unemotional. You'll have the separation, the cord cutting, energetic, severing of a cord with somebody is usually felt on a different level by everyone involved. So it's one of those moments that will almost rehash the pain, but at least this way, the days forward will be brighter, and every single day and every week that comes when you're not looking at your ex's profile will be a step in the right direction of your own personal healing. And honestly, some people are like, well, what if they come back? Well, you know what? Deal with that if it happens. There's no point in solving a problem that doesn't exist, right? And especially with whatever information you have at the moment is going to be different if and when they ever do come back. So you would have to make a different decision at that time, anyways, based on new variables or new factors. So it would be not only irrelevant, but like unnecessary to make a decision on anything that isn't actually a pending issue. So close the door, block them. For me, I can just block them on socials. I don't need to always block them on phone. But if they're aggressive, if they're trying to get you back and they're unhealthy for you, then you do need to block them on your phone as well.